parents never said I was unwanted. That would have been too honest. Instead, they used softer words. And my favorite one, you're easy. That was how I became the backup child. My older brother, Daniel, was the firstborn son. In my family, that meant everything. He was the one my parents proudly introduced at family gatherings. He was the one whose school photos were framed in the living room. He was the one whose birthday parties had balloon arches, photographers, and customized cakes. Mine usually had supermarket cupcakes and a quick dinner after everyone got home from work. Daniel got a new laptop when he started high school. I got his old one with missing keys and a battery that died after 20 minutes. Daniel got private tutoring. Daniel got a car when he turned 18. I was told public transportation would make me independent. When Daniel failed, my parents called it stress. When I succeeded, they called it expected. I used to think if I worked hard enough, they would finally see me. So I got good grades. I won competitions. I got into a strong university with a scholarship. I worked part-time, paid my own bills, and never asked for anything. Still, every family dinner was about Daniel. Daniel's new idea, Daniel's new job, Daniel's new girlfriend, Daniel's new problem. One night during my final year of university, I came home excited because I had won a design competition. The prize money was small, but to me it felt huge. It was the first time something I created had been recognized by people outside school. I waited until dinner. My mother looked up and smiled politely. Before I could continue, Daniel walked in and threw his car keys on the table. "I need help," he said. That was it. My news disappeared. For the next 2 hours, my parents discussed how to help Daniel recover. My father offered money. My mother suggested calling one of her friends. Daniel complained about how unfair life was. I sat there with my certificate in my bag, untouched. After dinner, my mother finally looked at me. That night, I stopped trying. After graduation, I moved to the city and rented the smallest room I could find. It had one window, thin walls, and barely enough space for a bed and desk. But it was mine. I started working for a small interior design studio. The salary was low, but I learned fast. I learned how rich clients thought. I learned how developers made decisions. I learned how a normal room could become something expensive just by understanding space, light, and emotion. At night, I took freelance jobs, small apartments, coffee shops, tiny offices. I did everything. I created mood boards, floor plans, furniture layouts, and brand concepts. I answered clients at midnight. I visited construction sites before work. I skipped vacations. I ate cheap food and saved almost everything. After 2 years, I left my job and started my own design company. Nobody in my family knew, not because I hid it, because nobody asked. Whenever my mother called, the conversation was the same. "That's nice." Of course he was. Daniel tried restaurants, trading, real estate, and online selling. Each time my parents helped him. Each time he failed. Each time they said he was brave for trying. Meanwhile, my company slowly grew. One cafe became 5, one apartment became a luxury condo, one condo became a villa. Then a hotel owner found my work online and hired me to redesign 3 boutique properties. That project changed everything. Photos of the hotel went viral, magazines contacted me, developers started calling, wealthy clients wanted my team. Within 5 years, my company had 20 employees and projects in 3 countries. I bought my first apartment at 29. I bought my second property 1 year later. By 32, I had enough money to retire if I wanted, but I didn't. I loved building beautiful spaces for people who actually valued my work. Then, one Sunday afternoon, my mother called me. Her voice sounded sweet in a way that made me suspicious. She asked, "Maybe we're having a family dinner?" "Of course." She paused. "That was new. Usually Usually, family discussions meant Daniel needed help and I was expected to listen. I almost said no, but something in her tone made me curious. So the next Saturday, I drove to my parents' house. It looked smaller than I remembered. The same cream walls, the same brown sofa, the same family photos in the hallway. Daniel's graduation photo, Daniel's wedding photo, Daniel standing beside my parents during a business award event he didn't even win. There was one photo of me. It was from high school, slightly crooked and near the staircase. Backup child placement. Dinner started normally. My mother made too much food. My father asked Daniel about work. Daniel gave a long speech about his latest business idea, which sounded exactly like his last three. Then my father cleared his throat. "We're getting older," he said. My mother nodded seriously. "We found a house," she said. "A beautiful one. Quiet area. Big garden." Daniel smiled. "It's really nice." I looked at him. My mother avoided my eyes. "We asked Daniel to check it first." I nearly laughed. Daniel understood investment the way a child understood fire, mostly by getting burned. There it was. I placed my fork down. $4 million, Daniel said casually, as if he had ever earned $4 million in his life. I blinked. My mother reached across the table and touched my hand. A little. That word always came before something unreasonable. My father looked uncomfortable. I stared at him. "Not give," Daniel said quickly. "Contribute." I looked at him. He leaned back. I smiled. His face tightened. My mother sighed. "Please don't start." "You're single," she said. "You don't have children." There it was again. I was easy. I would be fine. My father added, "We raised you." That made me laugh. I didn't mean to, but it came out. Daniel frowned. I looked around the table. My mother looked hurt. I nodded slowly. "You paid for Daniel's university." Silence. "You bought Daniel a car." My father shifted in his chair. "You helped Daniel start 4 failed businesses." Daniel scoffed. And just like that, the room changed. For years, I had swallowed every insult. Not because I was weak, because I thought peace was cheaper than honesty. But I was tired. I looked at Daniel and smiled. He rolled his eyes. I opened my phone, searched my company name, and placed it on the table. My mother picked it up first. Her face changed. Then my father leaned closer. Daniel grabbed the phone from her hand. At the top of the screen was an article from a luxury business magazine. Under the headline was my photo. Daniel stopped breathing for a second. My father stared at the article. Daniel scrolled quickly, his face getting paler. My mother covered her mouth. I took my phone back. Their eyes snapped to me. My father's voice softened immediately. I nodded. The silence was instant. Daniel frowned. I reached into my bag and pulled out a folder. My mother stared at it. My father's face went blank. I placed the folder on the table. "The dream house you wanted? The one with the garden and lake view?" My mother's hand flew to her chest. Daniel stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. "No," I said calmly. My father opened the folder with trembling hands. The ownership papers were there. My name was on every page. My mother started crying. "I don't understand," she whispered. I looked at her. Daniel froze. My father looked up slowly. I bought it because I knew you loved it. My voice stayed calm, but my hands were shaking under the table. But then I came here tonight and listened to you ask me for money like I owed you something. I listened to Daniel call my career a little decorating job. My mother sobbed. No, I said. Daniel pointed at me. You did this on purpose. I laughed softly. No, Daniel. My father's voice was quiet. I closed the folder. My mother cried harder. Daniel looked furious. I stood up. No! For the first time in my life, nobody had anything to say. I picked up my bag and walked to the door. My mother followed me. Please, she said. I turned around. For years, I wanted you to talk to me, not about Daniel, not about what I could do for the family. She wiped her face. Maybe she meant it. Maybe she was sorry because she had lost the house. I didn't know. And for the first time, I didn't need to know. I drove home that night feeling strangely peaceful. Not happy, not cruel, just free. A week later, Daniel messaged me. I replied once. No. Then I blocked him. My parents still try to contact me sometimes. My mother sends long messages about regret. My father sends articles about interior design as if he suddenly cares. Daniel tells relatives I became arrogant after money. Maybe I did change, but not because of money. I changed because I finally understood something. Being the easy child does not mean you have to make life easy for everyone else. Being ignored does not mean you are invisible. And being treated like the backup does not mean you are not the main character of your own life. I live in that house now. The garden is beautiful in the morning. Sometimes I drink coffee by the window and think about the little girl who used to watch her brother receive everything she quietly wished for. I wish I could tell her one thing. You were never the backup. You were just building your own way out.